just went, wait, did I just see an octopus playing drums? Wait, is Nicole Kidman dressed like a predator? Wait, is that Jaimin Hunsu? Wait, did Dolph Lundgren just take off his helmet and swish his hair in the air? Wait, was that Dolph Lundgren on a seahorse?
Yeah. There's so much going on.
Like, why? How much is that glass at the aquarium going to cost that just cracked? Like,
what did you think of the shark work in this movie?
Oh,
as a shark expert.
Well, the shark work was glorious. Listen, anytime that there is like a laser on a shark, right? We're talking like Austin Powers level spoofing right here. There's lasers on sharks. It's brilliant. And then when Aquaman turns the sharks against the people and they start eating the Atlantans, oh man. And when the sharks got killed, I got really pissed though. There's a scene where Aquaman gets on a seahorse.
Yeah.
And Orm is on his giant mosasaurus or whatever it was. And they play a game of chicken. And this is a brilliant, beautiful seahorse that is probably hundreds of years old, right? Thousands.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Aquaman just rides it straight into Orm's shark's mouth.
Right.
Like, this movie's crazy.
It's crazy. No, here's the thing.
There's no regard for life, right? Or Italian villas or wine shops. I mean, people get
not at all.
None. But I think that's why it works, is because it's James Wan knows it's that crazy.
So here's the only thing, and again, huge fan of this movie, huge Aquaman fan, I'm a DC guy. Here's the one thing I don't get about this movie. The one thing that bothers me is, you're right, it's trillions of dollars of worldwide damage. This would be on Superman's radar.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's kind of the thing that Marvel does well, is that they have these big Avengers movies, but then the solo movies are kind of a smaller scale as that to not need the Avengers' full attention.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Captain America Civil War, you didn't need the other people.
Right.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Winter Soldier. Right.
Right.
Cap and Falcon and Black Widow can take care of that.
Or kind of like Shazam. As fun as that was, it was such a smaller scale. The Justice League wasn't going to be aware of what was going on in, Fawcett City. But this movie, it would definitely be on Superman's radar.
If Orm has this much power, why didn't he just send tidal waves everywhere and just wipe out the Earth? He could have.
Right.
Like, we've seen what tsunamis do in Japan, in Louisiana, and areas like that. You can do it. You can do it. Just wipe out all the coastal cities in the world. The economy is not going to recover anytime soon.
Not at all.
None.
Not at all.
Well, so why did he need all the other armies when he was capable of just doing that right off the bat?
Well, I think that he didn't want to do that. I think he just wanted to be the king, so he needed the other armies to give himself that position, right? Like, he needed their support because it was like the different realms of the ocean, whatever. It's a political move. He didn't want to flex that muscle. He didn't have to.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, anytime.
He looked like Super Shredder at the end.
Yeah, no, actually, he looked exactly like Ocean Master at the end. When he put that mask on, I was like, oh.
Oh, that's what Ocean Master looks like?
Like picture perfect from the comic book.
Oh, so that was before Shredder then, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, there was moments in this movie where I was like, they went for it. Like, even Aquaman with like the mama, like talking to sea life with like the rings. I was like, he did it. Like, they took the nonsense that was like 60s Aquaman and they just did it without apologizing.
And they put the suit on him.
Yeah, the original suit was fantastic.
Right. Listen, this is a movie where, in the beginning, where Aquaman knocks a guy out, there's a guitar, like he has his own guitar motion for him. His theme is a guitar lick. So once I heard that, I was like, okay. But after watching it, man, I was just, the first time I watched it, right, I'm going to say I liked it, but it's weird because, when you, technically, me, this movie should have been an all-timer for me, right?
Yeah. With
sharks, Dolph Lundgren on a seahorse and sharks and P-dubs.
Now, did you know Dolph was in this movie before you went and saw it?
Yes, I do. I did.
I had no idea, and it took me, I was like, Dolph, like I yelled Dolph Lundgren's name in the theater when I saw him.
Can I tell you something cool?
Yeah.
So I work under the moniker Lundgren's Front Kick on Reddit. I did that for years. I was Lundgren's Front Kick, and I released some massive data posts on there. Dolph Lundgren's first Instagram photo for Aquaman. He's like training front kicks, getting ready for Aquaman.
Amazing.
Yep. So I framed that. Actually, I tattooed it. It's on my back.
Yeah, and you're like Polynesian tattooed body now.
Yep.
It's all Dolph Lundgren stories.
I Must Break You. It's all text from his movies. It's pretty great.
What would you say the best 3 Dolph Lundgren quotes of all time are?
The best 3. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I Must Break You.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to be all from Rocky IV, but I think Traitor from Universal Soldier, Traitor, and his speech, which I included his speech in an article, but I got cut. That was kind of a bummer. But it must be all Rocky IV because I have the power, He-Man, right?
Yeah, but I think he can't hear you from Universal Soldier.
Oh yeah, he crushes it. He should have he should have an Oscar for that.
He should. Right? He absolutely should.
That's what the Oscars should be for. It's like, yes, we know that there were better performances. Daniel Day-Lewis, every time he acts, should be nominated for an Oscar. But if some new blood, if Dolph Lundgren puts in a performance like that, it's like, listen, Daniel, we get it. You're amazing. You know you're amazing. We know you're amazing. We'll save you a trip. We're going to give this award to Dolph because look at this dude. Like, this was great.
What about if they added a category to the Oscars? And I think we should petition this. And the category wasn't best performance, but it was most exceeded expectations.
No one would come for that, but I get it. I love it.
Right? You're like, well, no one thought that the British kid was going to be a good Spider-Man, but he really blew our expectations out the water.
Yeah, that kid is so good.
Yeah.
Tom Holland, man.
What was the movie we were going to put Tom Holland in?
Oh, gosh.
We were going to do a remake of 18 again with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Tom Holland.
Yep. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
It win an Oscar for most best expectations blown.
We should make 37 again with Dolph Lundgren and I.
Yes. I just think you should play a young Dolph Lundgren in his biopic.
I think so too. I mean, I'd have to work out a lot. I'm the same height. Yeah. I don't have the jawline.
But the cinematic forgiveness, right? Like, Joaquin Phoenix didn't look like Johnny Cash, but he looked like Johnny Cash.
If I started working out now, I could play him when he was 39.
Yeah.
Give me 2 years.
Right.
But you know what I love about this movie too is that it had a
Amber Heard's wig.
Oh god. Well, that wasn't even that was pretty gnarly. But first movie wigs are always bad.
Yes.
They always get better in the sequel. So you can never judge a wig by the first picture. And that's my theory. That was my high school yearbook quote.
That's a great yearbook quote.
Yeah, that was mine. And people said, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Mark. But this was a $160 million movie directed by James Wan in his home country where he came from, Australia. He moved there eventually, but that's where he learned. That's where he went to school. That's where he came out with Lee Wannell, who's a pilot in this, by the way. And $160 million went into this movie with Nicole Kidman. We're like, the lead is Jason Momoa with Dolph Lundgren, P-Dubs, P-Dubs is a St. Pete boy. That's where I'm from. Watching Patrick Wilson. So I was watching training videos on this, and he got jacked for this. When he and Momoa were next to each other, they were pretty close in size. And then Yaya, who played Manta, he got all ripped up too.
Now, didn't Patrick Wilson play the president in Dawn of Justice?
Dawn of Justice.
Like Batman v Superman?
P-Dubs was the president?
Yeah, because he's a Zack Snyder boy, right?
Well, he's in Watchmen.
Yeah, so hold on. I think he was the president.
I want to see him be the president in one of those Gerard Butler movies. And it's just him and Jerry Butler running around killing people.
Atlantis Has Fallen?
Yeah, King Orm is being protected by Gerard Butler? Butler? Hey, can you make that poster? And
yeah,
wait,
for sure.
Wait, it would have to be Jason Momoa then, right? As the president?
No, maybe. I'll see what I can do.
We love P-Dubs, right? But, I mean, maybe P-Dubs escapes. Oh, man, Atlantis. Can you make that? Oh, my gosh. Can we just talk? Yeah. Can we make that movie up?
Atlantis Has Fallen, 100%.
And 100%. Sharks are in it. We talk about fake movies with sharks.
It's kind of our thing.
Yeah. The Sunset Shark Club and Sharks in Sweden.
Sunset Shark Club. We need to think of like the third of our shark trilogy.
You don't think Aquaman, Atlantis Has Fallen is?
I think so, but I think that we don't make it Aquaman canon. We just make it a Gerard Butler. The next thing is he goes to Atlantis, like a different version of Atlantis, but Atlantis has fallen.
Oh, okay. Can Timothy wait, who'd be a good president for him to act alongside?
Ooh.
Man, so we got...
Look at this. Patrick Wilson, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, President of the United States, just his voice.
Wow. The P-Dubs has been the prez.
In the same universe.
That's amazing. Does Watchmen exist in the DCEU?
No, but maybe. Like, they, in the comic books, they kind of like brought them, like retconned it so that it was in that world.
Got it.
But I don't think it, well, maybe it is, because did you watch the Crisis on Infinite Earths episodes of the Arrowverse?
No, were they good?
Yeah, they were good, but they kind of tied every DC movie or show ever saying that they're in the same multiverse. Like, they really did it. They had Ezra Miller, a guest cameo on The Flash.
Whoa.
Yeah.
When's that guy gonna make his movie?
I don't think that movie's ever gonna happen. I don't think so.
It just keeps losing directors.
Yeah.
If I was a director and I wanted to lose a job, I'd be hired for that.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So here's what's gonna happen is Atlantis Has Fallen will be this. The president of the United States is Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
And, Gerard Butler is his guy. There's going to be a nuclear threat, like a legit nuclear threat. And that's going to cause, for the first time ever, the states to actually go to DEFCON 0, which is like never been heard of before. It's one more important than DEFCON 1. So they go to DEFCON 0. And what that does is it opens up a line of communication to Atlantis, which has been like a known commodity by like 5 people in the States. They know Atlantis exists, but it's like a fallout plan. Like that's our escape plan, is to go to Atlantis. And so they open up a line of communication between Morgan Freeman and the president of Atlantis, whoever that would be. And then they have to go there and it's just, they have an underwater Olympus Has Fallen style, adventure in Atlantis. Atlantis Has Fallen.
I love it.
And the president who would be like a counterpart to Morgan Freeman.
So like a Sigourney Weaver?
Or I was thinking, John Malkovich.
John Malkovich is the president of Atlantis?
Yeah. Or maybe it'd be somebody who's like...
No. It's John Malkovich.
John Malkovich?
And can Keith David be his vice president?
Yes, and David Keith will be the villain.
Oh. A bad Atlantan who works in the cabinet that sent them there to bring the president down there to be killed.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you think Keith David might be bad, but it turns out it's David Keith.
David Keith is the villain the whole time. It's like a double flip. You think you're like, he's the bad guy, but maybe not. And then they tease that it's going to be that way. But it's revealed that it was, he was a good guy the whole time. I like it.
Now, I'm getting us off track, but I'm kind of putting us on track. And I want to get your feelings on sand.
I think it's gritty.
Yeah.
I don't like it I hate going to the beach and then putting your shoes on to come home. There's always sand in your shoes and it's gritty.
Yeah.
I'm risking quoting Anakin Skywalker right now. It's like, I don't like sand. It's coarse and it's rough. I don't think sand could break your fall if you jumped out of an airplane.
They would survive, obviously, right? Because their bone density is so strong because they're under pressure so long. So that's what makes them bulletproof when they're on Earth. However, they fall into that sand. Mira and him are probably going to go 8 feet in. They're going to have sand everywhere.
Regardless of how dense they are as people, they're still like the physics of dropping out of an airplane and hitting the ground that hard.
They're going to be covered in sands everywhere.
Yeah. Did
you see one of the scene an hour later when they're swimming around and sand is just trailing off of them?
I didn't, but I did see the Annabelle doll in this movie.
Yeah, underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, Annabelle doll's in Shazam too.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't see it in Shazam. Where is it in Shazam?
It's in the house.
Okay.
Yeah. I pitched that idea once. It got turned down, but